Stephanie Young.
Thanks. Emily, Blacko was just in here complimenting the game that you just had. Just wanted to ask you about how you feel you executed based on discussions you had with the coaching staff, and you were asked to do something very hard tonight, particularly on a side that had Ellie Carpenter and Haley Razzo. So just your feelings on your performance in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is some good parts, and I definitely think there's some things that I can work on. Like you said, those two are great players, so I knew that I had to be aggressive and I had to be on the front foot because of their speed and just them combining on the flank. So I think defensively, I knew I just had to get in there and had to tackle first. And then I think for me, I could have done a little bit better with the simple things. So some good things and then some things that I want to work on when I get back home.
Alonso Contreras.
Thank you. How are you, Emily? You were amazing getting out of pressure, recovering the ball, going up and down. But do you think that you could have done better in the last touch? And what I mean by that is like connecting Williams or doing better crosses?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think within the game, like, mistakes are going to happen. Obviously, with touches and passes and final decisions, it's things that you have to think of, like, right in the second. So, yeah, I definitely agree that I could have done better on some touches and some passes, for sure.
Jeff Kasuf.
Hamley, Jeff Kasuf with the Equalizer. I'm wondering, as you get forward, you're able to do so pretty frequently. We've seen that with racing and in other settings. How often, or how maybe conscious are you of like where how high you might drift, the responsibility to get back, and what does that kind of look like as you're kind of in the moment mentally?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it at first is a guessing game. You have to see whether the forward that you're supposed to mark is coming with you or if they're staying high. So a lot of it is just being able to read the game. And for me, I feel like the higher I am and if that forward is following me, the less defending I have to do and the more running and defending they have to do. So it is kind of like a cat and mouse game, deciding, kind of gambling to go forward or to be more conservative in the back.
And Flacco just was in here. He talked about young players getting this experience, hostile environment. Anything that you took away from this trip and these games and being able to play in this setting against this opponent that you think you can apply going forward here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like each game and each camp I get the opportunity to play for the U.S. I'm learning, and so especially playing Australia, they're an amazing team. So for me, each game I'm going to watch and then see what I can do better. But I feel like no matter what, I'm always going to keep learning and trying to grow and get better. So every time I get a chance to be here, that's one of my goals.
Thank you.
And the final question for Emily to Grant Little.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for taking the time. I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your inverted fullback role in build-up and linking up with one of the eights, whether it's Lindsey Horan or Rose Lavelle, when they kind of occupy that space that you vacated coming inside.
Are you talking about when they like kind of go wide and then I go inside?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of something we have like up our sleeves. I feel like a lot of times, especially playing Australia, we noticed that they were man marking, and so having Linz pull out wide and then me coming into the middle, it just kind of had some variety. And like, again, cat and mouse, like see how they respond to our change of movement. So I feel like we did it just to keep adding a variety and kind of seeing what they respond to it.
Thank you.
Emily, thank you for your time, and thanks to all the journalists from America for joining us.
Thank you, guys.